Raj. Today I'm going to teach you something very interesting. I will talk about VGG19 and how to use that in PyTorch. Okay. So here is the diagram of VGG19 image classification model. Okay. So it has many layers. As you can see here, this is the image that gets passed on to it, and it has these convolutional layers. The yellow color ones are the convolutional layers, 64 convolution, then you have 128 again convolution and average pooling. Then there is another average pooling here, followed by a couple of convolutional layers. Okay, and there is an average pooling convolutional layer. It goes on like that. So this is mainly classified into two sets of layers. One set of layers, which are like basically the yellow color ones here, are mainly working to find the features in the image. Okay, and the last three layers, 1 2 3 here, these are the fully connected layers. They are working on the prediction. Okay. Okay, so I want to today tell you how to use VGG19 in PyTorch. It's very simple and you can also do it, and it's a lot of fun, guys. I think you should really try what I'm showing you and get familiarized with it. Okay, so let me first show you what are the models that PyTorch supports. So if you go to pytorch.org, or you can even just go here, and search for PyTorch models, and you'll get pytorch.models here. So click on that and you'll see all the models that PyTorch supports. Okay, AlexNet, VGG, ResNet. If you click on the VGG, it will show you. Okay, it's talking about the paper. Okay, so and using these models is very easy in PyTorch. All you have to do is import torchvision.models as models, and then you can call any of these models. Like you can see ResNet is called here, VGG16, AlexNet. You can experiment with all these models, guys, and it's very easy. I think you should do it, and it gives you a lot of confidence when you do this. Okay, so with this information, we will go into my program. Okay, so here is the program that I'm going to show you, and of course guys, you need to install Jupyter Notebook, or at least you can do this in Google Colab as well. Google Colab is very easy, but Jupyter Notebook also you can easily install on your Windows or Mac PC, and you can work with these models. Okay, so we'll have to import only basic things like pill image, matplotlib.pyplot as PLT for plotting the images, torch vision, import transforms, because we need to transform the image when we read from the files. Models, this is very important. This is where you load the VGG19 or VGG16, whatever model that you want to load. Okay, torch vision, JSON. I will talk about why we need this. Import torch. So all the PyTorch programs you need to import torch. Okay, all the pre-trained models are there in the torchvision.models. Okay, so we have imported that, and we can instantiate one of them. Okay, by calling models.vgg19. This is very easy, and I'm assigning it to a variable vgg2. Let's see how this model looks like. Okay, this is wonderful. So we can see that it's printing everything. So it has features section which has many layers. I can see there are like 36 layers, and layer 0 is convolutional 2D, then ReLU, convolutional 2D, ReLU, max pool, conv, like that. There are multiple convolutional layers and ReLU layers. Okay, so the main thing here is that features section deals with extracting the features from the image. Okay, and there is another section called classifier. This is mainly the fully connected layers, like linear layer here, another linear layer here, and another linear layer, 3 linear layers in between ReLU and dropouts, and this is the main classifier. Okay, so with this understanding, let us go ahead. So I can assign the device to CUDA. CUDA is GPU, so we want to run the model and everything on the GPU. So then you need to assign the device to torch.device CUDA if it is available. Otherwise, it will be CPU. Okay, and then you have to assign the model also to device. That is done by bgg2.to to device. Okay, that is done. Okay, so let us load the image. So let me show you the images that I have. So I have stored my images in users, ASUS, and here images. Okay, so these are the images that I'm going to run this model on. Okay, so there are multiple things here. So I need to import the OS because I want to read all the files in this directory. Okay, so that is read in F. Okay, so base directory is my current working directory. No, this is the directory that where the images are. It's not my current directory. Okay, so that is the base directory. Now let me see what os.list dir has done. So I'll just print all the files that it has listed. Okay, so these are the images that are present in that particular directory. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to load all these images and store them in an array. Okay, so this is how I'll do it. I have a for loop, okay, which goes through all the files in that particular directory. Okay, that is by doing os.path.join the base directory to the file name. Okay, and then we use image.open to read the images. Okay, that's a standard library that's used to read the images, that's imported from pill import image. Okay, so let us see how that works. Okay, so it has read the images and those are all stored in the array images. Okay, and what is the length of the images? It's 12. Okay, so I need to convert the images to the tensors because the models in PyTorch they need the images to be in tensors for them to work. Okay, so I have written a small function, okay, which takes the images. It's very simple, guys. You can also do it, and in fact I will make this file available to you so you can run it yourself. So you need to create a transform by composing a transform from the PyTorch. Okay, so the composing will have cropping the image that is making like a square dimension of the size. I have put 224 is the size. Okay, then you need to normalize the image. This is a standard call, so you don't need to worry. You can actually copy this format itself. Okay, so I go through all the files that I read. Okay, those are in the pill image format, so that will be converted to the tensors here. So okay, so when it's converted to tensors, the dimension will be 3 cross 224 cross 224. Okay, this will be the dimensions of the image. See, 3 is the number of channels. This is the number of channels for colored image. For black and white, this will be 1. 224 pixels, 224 pixels. And why there's an extra 1 here? This is needed for all the PyTorch models. Okay, so they usually take this as a batch size. If my batch had 10 images, this would be 10, but now I have only 1 image per batch. Okay, so I have printed the dimensions of that image and everything is of type torch.size. That means they're all tensors. Okay, so next thing is I'll just print the image so that you can look at it. Okay, wonderful. Not yet. Okay, so these are the images that I have printed them in the grid format. Okay, This is very easy, guys. You can just copy this code, or you can do it yourself also. And it's not that you need to work with n number of images. You can just take one image and see how the model works. Okay, so you see these images are just images. They don't have a label, so we don't know what those are. I don't know whether this is a dog or fish. There's nothing, no software to label and identify this image. That's what the model is going to do. Okay, so next thing is pass these images through the network that I instantiated here, which is VGG2, right? So that's what I instantiated here. Okay, so now I'll just pass these images through that in an array. Okay, so I'm doing that here. I go through all the images one by one and pass them to this. Okay, and it produces an output called output VGG. Okay, note that this output will be an array of 1000 numbers. I'll just show you an example. Output VGG.shape. Okay, oh god, this is an array of 1000 numbers. Why? Because your image classifier from the ImageNet, right, the VGG, has 1000 different types of images that it can classify. So it has one number for every image, so it will give probabilities for 1000 images, but only one will be correct. So you need to take mags of this. So that is done by taking the argmax of this. So let's see what is the argmax of this. In fact, I can print this and it will be too much to handle. Print output, and it will be 1000 tensors. No, I need to print this. Okay, so I am printing okay, so that will be like a lot of numbers which are plus and minus. Okay, so how do you find what is the the label that image is classified? That is done by finding the label or the index of the array which has a maximum number. Okay, that is done by calculating the argmax. So we can do torch dot argmax of output VGG. So this will tell me. Okay, so what happened here? Torch dot. Okay, this is wrong spelling. So this has to be. Okay, so it's telling me that the index is 292. So the image that it has identified corresponds to 292 label. Okay, so we'll find out how to find the image name. Okay, so this is done for, you see, 12 images, so it will have 12 different numbers. So the output, which is actually has all the classified images, also output will be 12 numbers, and these are like 12 different indexes. So how do we convert these numbers? These are, see, the identified images, the labels for the images. How do we convert it to the label names? Okay, so for this you need to have the JSON file copied from ImageNet class. Okay, so I have downloaded this file and I am going to read that. Okay, and that file is going to give me the mapping from the number to the image name. Okay, so if it is 0, it's tench. If it is 1, it's goldfish. If it is like 7 is the number, then it's cock. 8 is hen, like that. It has lots of things, very interesting things. It identifies Gila monster, green lizard, whatnot, pine snake, water snake, garter snake, oh my god, Indian cobra, anything and everything is there. There are totally 1000 items here. Okay, so it is identified. Now I will use these labels, and again, okay, I will extract them. So what I did is, all the numbers that I found out, the model found out, I converted them to the string. the names of the labels. Okay, so now I'm going to print the images again, but this time with the identified labels. Okay, so now we have got the images classified by the model. Okay, so this is classified as beach wagon, although this is an Audi car. This is correct. This is one type of butterfly. It's called monarch. This is a cheetah. That's correct. This is, oh god, this is a dog. Somehow it is classified. This is tennis ball. I don't know how it looks like tennis ball. This is goldfish. That's correct. Goldfish. Lion. Langur. Okay, this is langur. This is peacock. This is airliner. Okay, that's wonderful. So our model is working. So this is very easy, guys. You can also try it. I'm going to share this code, and you can also experiment with this. And in fact, you can try to load other models that are there in the PyTorch Zoo. Okay, there are so many models: VGG, ResNet, DenseNet. The famous ones are VGG and the ResNets. You can take them, and you can in fact run this and see if it is working. And don't take only these images. You can take any number of images and any different types of images. Okay, so I think that clarifies, that covers everything that I wanted to talk about. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.